If you're on Facebook, if you hear what we're saying, let us know if the audio is okay. I think we're live on YouTube as well. Can you see us, Jim?
Yeah, I think we're live.
Okay, fantastic. Yep. Okay, good. We're live both on Facebook and on YouTube. Hey everybody, let's see who we have on the YouTube live chat. We have Jim. Hi Jim. BK is there, Wonder Lady, Ash, hashtag Heathen, Casey Atheist, Beej is there. Hi Beej, Debs, and okay. And on Facebook, who we have on Facebook? Deborah, audio is good. Thank you, Deborah, for letting us know. Alan, hear you fine. Thank you, guys. Okay, we're going to be discussing the latest news on atheism, religion, secularism, some politics, if the Atheist Republic community asks us to do some politics. But before we do, also, let me just let you guys know, Jim has some connection issues sometimes. If his connection drops, and I think I made him a little bit upset by being angry with him. Sorry, Jim.
You're fine.
So, but if his connection drops, I'm going to call him on his phone using Google Hangout, and we're going to continue that way. But hopefully everything is going to be okay. But Jim, can you just ask us thank our patrons really fast before we go to the news?
Sure. Real quick, just want to acknowledge our donors. Without you guys, we couldn't continue to do the work that we do, so thank you so much for that. We have a $5 pledge from D. Boudreaux. Thank you so much. And a $20 pledge from Carol McCuller. We greatly appreciate that. If you want to donate, you can go to our Patreon. We also have a subscribe star now, so you can now donate using other methods. You can see that on our website, atheistrepublic.com.
Oh, you added it to our website?
Yes.
Oh, thank you, Jim. Jim, you learned how to do Drupal, which is, I didn't know you could. Actually,
no.
Yeah?
No, I wouldn't say I learned how. I learned how to do certain things.
Okay, but that's good. I think we made a mistake building our website in Drupal. Now it's going to be a nightmare to switch it to anything else, because Drupal is a little bit harder to learn than anything else. So we're having problems hiring web developers to do our website. Usually it's a little bit more expensive than other things, but it's too late to change that now. Anyways, should we go to the first news?
Yeah.
Okay.
School cancels play about Darwin and evolution after Christian parents complain. Hartford Manor Primary School, a non-religious community school in a village in Cheshire, canceled the musical Darwin Rocks and replaced it with a less divisive show following objections from parents. Several families threatened to withdraw their children from the play as they felt one of these scenes mocked a bishop involved in a historic debate on evolution. The decision to cancel the play has provoked anger from another group of parents who argue that it is unacceptable that their children have been denied a valuable learning opportunity. And I have to stand on the side of the parents who say that by taking this away, you're taking away something very, very. It seems like a really good teaching tool to teach kids as far as the theory of evolution.
Okay, this is in the UK, right? Not usually.
Yes, correct.
Usually news like this comes from the US, so it's a bit weird that this is coming out of the UK. So why? So what did the school give in to the parents, or did they?
Right. Yeah, it was basically the parents calling and threatening to withdraw their kids.
Well, go ahead though. It's a private.
They didn't get it removed. I mean, yeah, you would think that, but as a public school, I mean, it's you know, it's funded, you know, by the government. I believe this particular school is.
So if it's funded by the government, why wouldn't the school say, okay, I'm cool with this, just withdraw, get the hell out of here?
Because they receive funding based on their their attendance, right?
Well, I mean,
or
okay, so isn't that against the law for them to adjust their what they teach based on religions? I don't know how it works in the UK.
Right. Well, in this case, it doesn't really seem like it's so much curriculum as it is extracurricular. This kind of seems like something that was added on, not necessarily for the education value, but more entertainment value, kind of like a Christmas play or something.
Okay, but just to be also like be try to be fair on both sides a little bit. And correct me if I'm wrong, Jim. It seems that there was a bishop. So this was a school play. It was outside of the whatever they were teaching, right? But they were making fun of the bishop in the play that was against evolution, correct?
Correct.
So, but what's the name of this bishop? This was
the name of this particular bishop that they're referencing is Bishop Samuel Wilberforce.
Right, and this was the guy that was against Darwin at this time. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
But
he was really big in the I guess you could say the debate community in that time.
Right, but some people point out that the way that he's been portrayed is really unfair. Oh, I forgot to turn on the light. Because even though he was a bishop, and even though he was wrong about evolution, his opposition to Darwin was based on science. I mean, even though he ended up being wrong, like he didn't criticize Darwin on religious ground. He did criticize Darwin on, but the way that in plays and in the future, the way they make fun of him is as if he's like a religious nut job, and is just anti-science kind of person. Even though he was, I mean, I think if I'm correct, even Darwin acknowledged that he was clever in his, the points that he brought up.
Right,
and his methodology was scientific, right?
Well, it wasn't necessarily scientific. He did try to approach it from a scientific perspective, but it was only where it adhered to his theological views. Nothing that he stated was against theology or against orthodoxy. In that instance, he was anti-science because he refused to accept anything that went against church doctrine.
But as long as his methods does not use any religious arguments, I think. Well, I mean, even if you're right, no. I think this guy was your example is like a complete nut job. But this guy, like his arguments were fair, even if they ended up being wrong. I think even if you're right that he was very biased, which is very likely, what some people are saying, the way he's portrayed after, is that he's just an anti-science religious nut job. I mean, we could criticize him.
He was. But the thing is that he was. It's just that he was convincing to people. And much like Kent Hovind, he came off as scientific. But
even he came off as scientific, even to Darwin himself.
Right. He was saying that he was clever. That he was clever in his ways and in his manipulation of science.
Okay, but some people think is the way he's being portrayed after is unfair. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, it's possible.
Yeah, but I don't know. Some people are saying like the way that this news is being covered is unfair as well, because the parents were upset about the way that the bishop was portrayed, not necessarily about teaching evolution, which I doubt that. I think maybe I'm wrong, but. It seems I
don't think you're wrong. I think that was just something else for them to throw in there to try to justify their position.
Yeah, it's probably just their anti-evolution. But we could be wrong about that. Let me see what the top comments are. Sarah is saying, "And we atheists have to sit through Christian Christmas programs." Do we?
In the United States, we do.
Oh, wait. So if your kid says like. I mean, I don't have a problem with Christmas, sorry, but if somebody doesn't want to go through Christmas, they should be able not to go through it. Is what happens if your kid says like, "Yeah, I'm an atheist. I don't want this program. I want to set this one out." Like, are they forced in public schools in U.S. and the U.K. to go?
My daughter was actually forced to sing "Happy Birthday, Baby Jesus."
Really?
And I had to go before the school board, and it was a really big mess, and but I ended up winning in the end.
You ended up winning? Yeah. Good job. What was the end result?
The end result was they got a cease and desist order for any other instances like that in the future, that they're not allowed to perform that that play, and I don't even live there anymore. So that's
But
so
as
that's
a
great.
parents, would you be afraid that after winning something like that, the teachers are going to mistreat your child in school, or is it going to be
Of
single
course,
them? Okay.
of course, and I got a lot of backlash myself from the community, But I mean, it is what it is.
This is a tough position.
It sucks.
Yeah. Robert is saying then it's only fair for atheist teachers to go to church and object to what is being thought there. Hey, actually, I usually I think this is unreasonable, but if churches are publicly funded, right, they should be open to public, right? So would it be fair? Like, I mean, you don't have a right to an audience. But shouldn't you have a right to an audience that is publicly funded? Shouldn't atheists be able to go into mosque and not just outside, but inside the mosque and inside the church and publicly criticize all the ideas as long as they're not disturbing the peace? Go in and criticize and challenge people there, like, or would the church have the right to kick them out? I mean, they could say like, this is our place. You don't have the right to come inside, but I would argue that not if it's publicly funded, right?
Right. Well, I would also argue that your definition of disturbing the peace and their definition of disturbing the peace would be two very different things.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter what I think or they think. The police,
right.
The definition, like if they call the cops and the cops decide that I wasn't disturbing the peace, then it doesn't matter what either of us think. But I'm just wondering, like that. Should it be allowed for anybody to go inside the church and like hand out pamphlets to people telling them why their religion is a lie? I think it should be, right? Because it's because it's not a private area. It's government funded.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that yet.
Okay, there's something to think about. Anthony is saying, so facts are less important than myth. I don't get it. We don't get it either, Anthony. Let's see. Okay, the YouTube live chat. By the way, anyone in the Facebook live chat, if you guys want us to read anything, please make sure you tag Atheist Republic. And also, if you are listening to this in the future and you and it's being premiered on Facebook, you might be confused why we're not reading your comments because it's not live at that point. But so I'm talking about the people that are live right now. Muscal is saying, why are we seeing more and more articles with snowflake babies? Humans need to stop catering to religious folks. Okay, I can't argue with that. Let's see. Okay, did you want to add anything, Jim?
Nope.
All right. Let's go to this one. I don't know why this one is included. I think I know why it's included, but go on. Next news.
A 10-year-old Cub Scout kneels during pledge at Durham, North Carolina City Council meeting. Liam Holmes, a 10-year-old, kneeled during his Cub Scout troop's recitation of the Pledge of Allegiance. He said he kneeled against racial discrimination, which is basically when people are mean to other people of different colors. It was his decision alone. Mayor Steve Shewell politely thanked him for his peaceful protest. A lifelong scout and veteran, Brandon LaRoque, said, "It just blew my mind that this was Cub Scouts in politics."
Wait! It blew his mind that this kid got political during a pledge. Isn't the pledge political by nature?
Well, I think he means that they were mixing it with he was mixing politics and Boy Scouts, which by reciting the pledge is kind of mixing.
So somebody is commenting like, I can't believe they're bringing politics into Boy Scouts, but you're doing the pledge that is bringing politics and religion into Boy Scouts. What the hell are you talking about?
Well, religion's already in Boy Scouts. Part of the Boy Scout oath is God.
Actually, they accepted they're getting more and more tolerant. This is one indication to show that atheists are still one of the least tolerated groups, even in a country as secular as the United States, because Boy Scouts recently became tolerant of gay members, right?
Right.
But not atheists, right? So if you're an atheist, they don't accept you. Is that accurate?
That's correct, or at least it was when I was younger. I mean,
still. I mean, this is okay. So I mean, why is this? Why is this whole PC culture that we are like covers every group out there except atheists? Like atheists do not get any sympathy for being one of the most hated groups in a country as secular as the United States. Shows you how bad we must have it in every other, like in more religious countries or in Islamic countries.
But Starbucks doesn't write Merry Christmas on their cups, so Christians are the oppressed ones.
Oh no. But okay, so one thing that worries me about this is that the dad said that he talked to the kid about this beforehand. Do you think like the dad made the kid do this?
I don't know. I mean, it's possible that he might have learned empathy from his parents. I mean, maybe that's possible, but I don't believe that his parents actually coached him and said, "Hey,
because
during the Pledge of Allegiance, you should kneel."
Because they had a conversation about it, but the dad said that he was surprised that he actually did something like this. I mean, a lot of people are like saying, "Oh, this is a kid. Why are you brainwashing kids?" But this kid is 10, right? I mean, I remember having very strong opinions about many things when I was 10, religion and politics.
Yeah, my daughter's 9, and she has very strong opinions for a 9-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of them were not, the same as my parents. So it's not like a 10-year-old can't have independent opinions. It's old. I think you're old enough to have some ideas and wanted to act on them. I'm okay. So this was against, like, I don't know, what was it, against racism?
Right.
I'm hoping more Boy Scout members start, like, not do anything. Just be like, yeah, God, no thanks, right? Like actually they would get kicked out if they do that, wouldn't they? I mean, get kicked out and bring more attention to the fact that atheists are not accepted. Like, okay, if the same kid, so he did this against racism, right? And people were like, "Oh, good job, that's nice, that's fine, you could do that." Except one person that was surprised that politics was being brought in the Boy Scouts. But
and he was a veteran and a Boy Scout himself, and he thought it was crazy because part of it is God and service to your country.
Yeah, but my point is that most people were saying, "Good job, kid," right? And he's fine, right? But if he did the same exact thing and he said, "I'm doing this as a protest, I'm not doing the pledge because of the word God in there," they were like, "Okay, now we have to kick you out." So it's okay to stand against racism. It's okay to be, now force Boy Scouts to be pro LGBT and stuff, but if you don't accept God, you're out. Again, I'm not saying it's always the same. Like, there's many cases where people are more intolerant against different races. There are examples everywhere that people are more intolerant towards LGBT the community. But there are situations where being atheist apparently is the worst thing you could possibly be, and this is one of them. Like, consider, if you're in the Boy Scouts, consider getting yourself kicked out by saying, "I'm not doing the pledge because I don't believe in God," and the whole pledge thing is very cultish to me, isn't it? It is. It's so creepy. It shouldn't even exist. The Pledge of Allegiance.
Right.
Yeah, but get yourself kicked out. Stand for something, get on the news for getting kicked out, and bring more attention to, discrimination against atheists. Let's see. Michel, again, in the YouTube live chat, is saying the leadership of the Boy Scouts of America decided to make some changes in the group structure. In 2013, the organization lifted its ban on openly gay scouts. Yep, exactly. In 2015, they ended. Exactly. So openly gay scouts are accepted. Atheists are still not accepted. So to say,
nope. They can have girls in the Boy Scouts. You just can't have atheists.
Yeah, anything except atheists. Prohibition of
I actually heard that they were accepting Illuminati members into the Boy Scouts, but not atheists.
What the hell? We have Illuminati? No. Yuval is saying Israeli Boy Scouts accept atheists. Oh wow, I didn't know that. I don't think they bother asking the kid if they're religious. No, I want to know if they do. I mean, accepting closet atheists is not that big of a deal. I want them to be accepting of open atheists.
Right, but they would have to change their oaths, because part of the oath that you recite is to God.
Yeah.
So by default, in order to pledge your oath as a Boy Scout, you're pledging your oath as a Christian.
Which school? Somebody's asking which school is this? This is not the school.
No, it's not a school. This was at a city council meeting.
Yeah, city council meeting and
in Durham, North Carolina, in the United States.
Let's see what the top comment is. Again, the top comment is not on the top. Apparently, thanks Facebook for. I don't understand Facebook. Christina is saying, imagine being the parent of the child who is brave enough to stick to his conviction regardless of what his peers were doing. Yeah, this kid is seems to be a natural activist, whether you agree with him or not. Robert is saying, I sat down during the pledge back in my high school days because I disagreed with one nation under God. Oh, good job, Robert. And what our nation has started to stand for. Well, Robert, can you tell us? I wish Robert was around to tell us if he got kicked out of the Scouts, or if he told people why he sat down and what happened. What was the consequences? Let's see. Oh, and Yuval is mentioning that Israeli Boy Scouts oath does not mention God. Oh wow, that's pretty good. Hopefully they don't add that, because things are going a little bit getting more and more religious in Israel. Hopefully that doesn't influence more and more organizations in Israel. What does oh my god, you always get that person S's. Okay, so do you have anything to add?
No, that's it for me.
Oh my god, this next news again. Shit. Why is this again on the news? Okay, next news.
China is forcing Muslims to eat pork and drink alcohol for Lunar New Year's festival. During China's New Year holiday, Chinese authorities have reportedly forced Muslims in the Xinjiang region to eat pork and drink alcohol amid an alleged crackdown on Islam. People living in the Ili Kazakh autonomous prefecture were invited to events making the celebration and told that they could be taken to re-education camps if they refused. A report claimed that the officials have delivered pork directly to Muslim households and insisted that traditional Chinese New Year decorations are displayed outside. Holy crap.
Okay, I don't really understand this. Like, I know China is pretty, even though they're a fucking tyranny apparently, they do things efficiently. Like, who are these experts? Do they think like Muslims are going to be like, okay, I had pork now, I guess I'm not Muslim anymore? Like what do you think is going to come out of this? Like, is this not how you actually make extremists out of moderates? Is this not a recipe for actually turning people into radicals? Like, when has oppressing a religious group of people has been successfully got rid of the religion? Has it not always been the opposite? Hasn't oppression actually fueled religion? Doesn't religion feed on religion? Isn't that how they grow? I mean, even if you are not humane enough to understand that this is fucking stupid and you don't force people to eat anything, even if you're trying to come up with the results that you want, how do they not know? I mean, they do research, they have studies. Like, they're not idiots up there. They must know that this does not work. I mean, this could be conspiracy. Okay, tell me, Jim, if I'm being an idiot here, because this sounds like a conspiracy theory to me, but I can't help but think this. Do you think that they actually don't mind having Muslim extremists so that they could actually use it to justify more crackdown on this community? Because somebody there must know that this is not going to work. But I'm
sure that it's a double-edged sword for them. I'm sure that they that while they don't necessarily want more extremist activity, that to have extremist activity is to provide justification for, in their eyes, justification for a lot of these things, a lot of this detainment.
No, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. I'm actually saying that they might want extremists.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
yeah,
what, if something, if somebody
that.
retaliates, they could always just point to them. We're like, see, this is why we need to do what we do.
Sure. Sure.
I mean, okay. So here's the thing. Here's another thing to point out. You know, in Islam, if somebody forces you, if I don't know how these Chinese Muslims, how much they know their Islam, because most Muslims don't know shit about Islam, but in Islam, if you're actually forced to eat anything, there is no sin. Like, if you get forced to eat alcohol and if you get forced to eat pork, you're not committing sin. Any sin. The person that is forcing you is committing the sin. Right. So that you shouldn't, like, as a Muslim, you shouldn't have a problem. Like, oh, I'm free forced, so I'm not sinning. But the thing is that the problem is that this whole demonization of eating pork, not necessarily with alcohol for some reason, but mostly pork, is been so ingrained in Muslim minds that they're not thinking about it in the step of sinning. They're just disgusted by pork. So it could end up being like so disgusted that I've seen like how it could be psychological torture. Even though technically they shouldn't have a problem with it, because it has turned into worrying about sin to worrying about doing something absolutely disgusting, like eating shit, right? So, but technically they shouldn't have a problem with it, but for some reason it has turned into something that they are disgusted of. Like, so, and again, this is the difference between what Islam actually teaches, but lived experience of Muslims is not necessarily the same as what Islam actually technically teaches, but it is very, like, it's not independent of it either. Like, it's very much influenced. Lived experience of Muslims is influenced by Islam, but not in such a, you know, one-on-one correlated as if they're just robots and the Islam is a code and they just follow the code.
And what's crazy is that China's actually, there's been reports that China is actually sending government officials and representatives on behalf of China to these different Muslim families, and they're actually staying with them and living with them to observe them and to make sure that they follow all these that they don't, you know, follow any Islamic practices that are against the Chinese government.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a documentary. Christy in the live chat actually sent me a documentary. By the way, Christy, I haven't managed to watch the videos that you recently sent me, but they have, like, they bring tourists there to just show how good, you know, like, and they have like these areas specifically made to look better, and they bring tourists, and the tourists actually get to go inside the house of the Muslims and take pictures while they're just living their lives. It's pretty insane.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, and again, this is not just about Muslims. I mean, they do this to Christians as well. And it's not just about religion. China is like a fucking tyranny, and they just want to control everything. Everything. Right. They want.
It's not about atheism. It's not about eliminating religion. It's about controlling the religion.
It's about having full control over everyone's lives, right? Yeah. And so that's why it's struck. Okay, Jim, how likely do you think it is that if I scroll down and I see the top comments, it's going to be one of our Atheist Republic members saying this is good?
I want to say it's a 78% probability.
78%. Okay. Let's see how bad it is. Let's scroll down and see. Let's see what the top comment says. Daniel, top comment with 613 reactions, saying, "I don't really like religion, but I don't see how this is funny." Okay, great. Thank you so much. Okay, actually, there's a mix. Here's the thing. Here's a good and bad about our community. The good thing about our Atheist Republic community is that the top comment was good. But the bad thing is that Daniel is actually pointing out to the fact that the #1 reaction to... wow, this thing got 1,300 comments. and 5,000 reactions. But the problem is that the top reaction is people laughing. I don't know what they're laughing at, but it's not good. I mean, this is horrific. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's a dark comedy kind of. Like I'm trying to be looking at it as positively as I can, but I don't know. I'm hoping that most of our community doesn't endorse this. The second comment is from this woman that I can't pronounce her name. She's saying, I'm disgusted by how many of you are laugh and love reacting to this. Okay, but I'm going to judge it by the comments. I'm hoping that... Okay, just to be charitable, let's be charitable to people as much as we can. Again, it might be wrong. The love reactions could be like, thank you for sharing this, I guess, to us. Or the laugh reactions is like, wow, this is fucking ridiculous. Again, I'm trying to be as charitable as I possibly can. Ryan is saying, I don't like the idea of being forced to do anything, especially by the government. Good. So it seems like the top comments are pretty good. Greg is saying, clearly we on this page aren't fans of religion. Yep. But forced participation looks the same no matter who does it. Exactly. We don't want to replace religion with something more evil. Oh, that was... And okay, Greg continues. This won't make anyone deconvert. It will just harden their hearts and create people willing to become martyrs. Very good point. Actually, the top comments seem to be much better than the last time we posted about this. So I guess that's good, right? Jim?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. There were some comments by Christy that we didn't read. And Michel said, I agree. And Christy saying they are making them extremists, and this is the best way to get people to rebel by making them able to play the prosecution card. One argument against what we're saying is that it might be very difficult in China to actually become rebels. Like the amount of control and the amount of eyes China has, like this is going to be a very, like, even if they actually do end up making extremists, the level of control China has over its people, it might actually make it difficult for anybody to actually retaliate. So I don't know.
But
yeah,
I do have to say that I do think that China is doing some good here, because I don't believe that anybody should live their life without eating bacon. Just
come
once.
On, no, Jim.
It's
don't
so
say
damn
that.
good.
No,
it is so
Jim,
good.
Don't joke about this. This is horrific.
But bacon is not. It's not a joking matter.
No, it is. Come on, Jim. That's not nice. That's not nice. I don't agree with you on this. Let me see. Yuval is saying atheist republic, not a justification, but the prevalence of atheism in China might have to do with decades of anti-theist brainwashing. Well, the thing is, Yuval, we don't make excuses for atheists that and you're saying it's not a justification. The thing is that what we would say, a lot of people say when we point to the harms caused by religion, they point to harms caused by atheists. And we point them out if like China is a non-religious atheist regime, and when they're being intolerant, we will point it out. The thing is that just because religion doesn't have a monopoly over cruelty, it causes it. It's a major source of it, but it doesn't have a monopoly over it. So, I mean, atheism is just nothing but other than a lack of belief in God, and people are capable of committing cruelty without God. They definitely are. But what we say is religion helps increase nonsense, cruelty, discrimination in the world. It doesn't have complete ownership over it. It doesn't have complete monopoly over it. We do think it's a source of adding to it, and the world would be a better place without religion. It wouldn't be a utopia without religion, but it would be a better place without religion. We will point it out when people are being discriminated against, especially when it's relevant to us, because when they're being discriminated against because of their religion, we will point it out, even if it's coming for people that don't believe in God.
Right.
And Yuval also adds, The question if this can root out religion. Paganism in Europe was effectively rooted out by... Okay, so Yuval is saying that there is an example of some form of persecution that actually did get rid of a certain religion, and saying that Christians effectively did got rid of paganism by church oppression. And he continues saying that's not a justification, but the prevalence... oh, you already said that. I already read that part. So you were saying it might be effective. Okay, yeah, but that's more... That might be one example, but we have for one...
I think it would be counter-effective. I mean, if you have the case of Nero, Nero blamed the Christians for the burning of Rome. And so then, in turn, the Christians were persecuted to a very huge extent for a very long period of time.
Right.
And look what happened to Christianity. Christianity was justified in their martyrdom, and it helped influence many other people. Saying, well, if these people are willing to die for this cause, then that must be true.
I would also argue that paganism, like whatever groups of religion that covers in Europe back then, they haven't had mastered the art of victimizing themselves. I think Christianity and Islam, more than other religions, have managed to use victimization as a weapon and as an excuse. Yeah. I think pagans...
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I think pagans at that time saw being oppressed as a sign of weakness, as a sign of not being right. But I think Christians and Muslims have managed to actually show that this is the reason why we do what we do, and actually turn that into a strength rather than weakness. So I think maybe the example with pagans might not apply to Christians and Muslims. Okay, anything? Moose Gal is saying bacon is gross, don't like it anymore. Okay. So I think Jim doesn't like you anymore, Moose Gal.
No, don't say that. I love you, Scott.
Okay. All right. Again, this is horrific. Fuck you, China, for doing this. Do you think I could go... I want to go to China. Do you think because we have been shedding on China for, like, how many episodes now? For all this shit. Like, is it safe?
Five or six now.
5 or 6. Like, we have been really anti-China for this. I really want to go back to China. Is it safe to go to China but when you have such anti-Chinese positions?
I was actually told by that guy who said that Atheist Republic was a hate group that I debated.
Right.
One of his arguments actually was he said, "Well, have you spoken out against the atrocities that China is doing to the Muslims?"
Oh,
I said, "Yes." Yeah. Yes, I am. He's like, "I don't believe you." Okay.
Yeah. Actually, Jim, somebody was claiming on their YouTube channel that Atheist Republic is a hate group. So Jim had a debate with him on this, and Jim I don't use this because I know people say destroyed them in the debate. But Jim, I think if there was ever a place to say that you did destroy those arguments, what should people search for to find that debate?
It's on Modern Day Debate on YouTube, and it's the title is Atheist Republic a hate group? And you'll see my photo on the thumbnail. Okay. And it was a murder. It was horrible. There's blood everywhere.
Okay, go on YouTube and search for "Is Atheist Republic a hate group?" and watch Jim's debate with that guy. Good job, Jim. Beej is saying, so Beej is letting everybody know to tag Atheist Republic. Thank you, Beej. This is very kind. Moose Gal is saying, "I don't like you anymore, Armin." Wait, what? Why me? She's joking. All right, let's go to let me see anything more on Facebook. Yuval has some great comments on the Facebook, so thank you, Yuval. Okay, so next news.
Pope admits clerical abuse of nuns, including sexual slavery. Pope Francis admitted that clerics have sexually abused nuns, and in one case they were kept as sex slaves. He added that the church was attempting to address the problem, but said it was still going on, and that a number of clerics had been suspended. Under Pope Benedict, an entire congregation of nuns who were being abused by priests was shut down.
Wait, so the current pope is thanking the previous pope for his courage to deal with turning nuns into sex slaves?
No, he's saying that it's still a problem, but he said that Pope Benedict had the courage to dissolve one of these congregations.
Yeah, that's what I said. So he
Right.
said it's still a problem, but he's also thanking the previous pope
Correct.
for dissolving. But I don't understand. First of all, what courage are you talking about? Like, do you need courage to be against sex slavery? How courageous is that? What the fuck, Pope? Like, you're like, oh, I'm so courageous. I'm courageous enough to stand against child rape. Holy, like, what the hell? Like, is that how far behind you guys are for it to be actually considered courageous to be against sex slavery and again in your own church? Wait, how is that? Like, nuns were turned sex slaves. That's fucking, like, well, how recent is this? This is like,
See, this is February 6th.
what the hell, man? I mean, and also the previous pope, the way he dealt with it was to get rid of the nuns instead of the priests.
Correct.
So he's like, holy shit, nuns are being raped. What do? Get rid of the nuns, and the priests got to stay. The priests that were doing the raping got to stay. And the nuns that were getting raped, that was their solution. And this is what our current pope is celebrating as a solution.
And check this shit out. In this case, there were some cases where the nuns became pregnant and they were forced to have abortions, something that the Catholic Church is very much against. And,
what?
And in fact, we see that throughout history with the Catholic Church. Outside of monasteries, we see in like in several instances where there's several bodies of aborted fetuses where the nuns would have their babies in secret and kill them and drown them and throw them into the pond.
Wait, okay, baby. Okay, you mean fetuses?
Fetuses or full term.
Okay.
Not just abortions, but they would also have
I'm not gonna blame the nuns for going through all that, but like you're saying, the priests were forcing them as well to have abortions. Fucking hypocrites, man! Like the greatest evil that apparently the Catholic Church finds the hill that they want to die on is like abortion. It's like the greatest what they describe as the greatest genocide that is happening. Apparently, when it happens to them, fucking hypocrites, man. Okay, like seriously, like this is an organization that protects child molesters, protects slavery of nuns, sex slave nuns, and apparently endorses abortion. The one thing that they think that they are in the moral high ground for being against.
Right.
I mean,
unless it involves covering up for the church, if it means protecting the church's reputation, then obviously it's okay.
Yeah, if you are a mom that can't afford this, you were raped, and there's no way that you can have a baby right now. If you have an abortion, you're a murderer. But if it causes any inconvenience for the church, apparently, and their reputation, get rid. You're like, no, kill it, right? But I mean, if anybody right now donates to the Catholic Church or supports the Catholic Church in any way, or even calls themselves a Catholic, there is no excuses for you anymore. If you meet people that call themselves Catholics, you guys should shame them. They are a cover for a criminal organization. And even this fucking Pope that everybody atheists even seem to like. This is a cover. This guy's like nice, you know, being, oh, I'm nice, I'm more tolerant. This guy is a cover for a fucking criminal organization. Right. And there is no excuse for this. Anybody that defends the Catholic Church or even calls themselves Catholic or even goes to a Catholic Church, other than tourist reasons, you should shame them. Let me see. Let me see what the top comment is on the Facebook post. Is this a top comment or is Facebook tricking me? It is. Okay. Marley is saying, wonderful. Another article I can show my grandma when she tries to convince me I need religion in my life. I mean, there's billions of those. What? Oh my god, this is a joke. Should I read this? It has 300 reactions. My anaconda don't want none spelled with the N-U-N unless you got... Okay, no, I'm not gonna read this. This is not...
That's
okay.
so funny.
Oh, but you're laughing, Jim.
I'm crying.
Okay. Carl is saying, so the Pope passes away and he... Wait, he didn't pass away. And he appears before God. Oh, okay, it's a joke. So the Pope passes away and he appears before God and God says, are you guys hard of hearing? I said celebrate, not celebrate. No, okay. Stupid joke. This page has the balls of all the... This Pope, sorry. This Pope has the balls of all the Vatican combined. What are you talking about? Why are you giving this guy credit? He's saying we were courageous because we stood against sex slavery. Are you serious, guys? Like, we're all more courageous than this fucking Pope. It took them this long to even address this, and we're giving them like, hey, here's a cookie for taking you this long for even calling it out. Like, if any other organization was doing, like, had sex, imagine if you had, like, hey, McDonald's, they had sex slavery for many years, and the CEO is finally calling it out. Like, would we be clapping right now? Oh, good job. Like, this organization, there would be police fucking everywhere. The organization would be shut down. The whole world would be calling it out. It's only under the label religion where people get away with this kind of shit. Like, holy fuck.
I mean, you would still have people saying, you know, yeah, it was a really bad thing McDonald's did, but damn, their fries are good, you know?
Okay, come on. They would not exist. They would be shut down. People would be in handcuffs years ago. People would have, you know, years of prison sentences. Nothing else would be tolerated by this much if it was under anything else other than religion. This is the protection the label religion gives you. And okay, thank you for somebody actually pointing this out. In response, so far he's all words and no action. Exactly. He's just a cover. He's just like a cute old grandpa cover for all this fucking bullshit. Ah, my god. This is the problem I have with all the stuff that makes religion look sweet and cuddly, because there's so much shit under it, and it's just kind of like Febreze to make the smell go away on the top of it. This is what the Islamic Reform does. Islamic Reform is Febreze. This Pope is also Febreze for the shit of, you know, the Catholic organization. All right, so let's go to the next news.
Muslim school will not allow girls to eat lunch until after boys have finished, Ofsted chief says. Al-Hijra school in Birmingham, a Muslim school, will not allow girls to eat lunch until after the boys have finished. Despite a court of appeal ruling in 2017 that found it was unlawful, the school is still segregating boys and girls. Luke Trill, director of corporate strategy at Ofsted, said, "The Court of Appeal rightly said that schools need a transition period where they were segregating, and yet still we have not just Al-Hijra, but we have countless other schools, mixed schools, which are segregating on the basis of sex."
Transition fucking period? Shut the school down! Are you guys fucking serious? This is in the UK, right?
What is transitionary about? Hey, instead of having one group of kids eat and then another group, just have them all eat together. I mean, what's transitionary about that?
This is the UK, right?
Yes, that's correct. In Birmingham.
Fucking pussies. These guys are pussies when it comes to Islam. Anything else in UK, if any other school did this, they would be like, okay, fuck this shit. Okay, let's say like a non-Islamic school in the UK, okay, said, okay, white children eat first. Once the white children are finished eating, let everybody else start eating, okay? if it was any other school, do you think they were like, okay, bigotry is not dead yet, I guess some school need transition to go through? Do you think they would argue that?
No, I don't think so.
They would shut the fucking school down. It's only with religion, and especially in UK with Islam. Not in UK, Christianity wouldn't work as a defense. Islam apparently does. It's only like, this is the same thing. Boys get to eat first and then girls eat. How is that different from the white and non-white example that I gave? How is that different? And these motherfuckers are saying they need a transition? Like, it's in your fucking law. So the law says that you can't segregate, and the school says, okay, first of all, we are going to segregate, and we're going to go one step further. You have to wait until the boys are finished eating. What the fuck?
Right. What I think is bullshit is that the Court of Appeals, will go as far to say that it's wrong, but then we'll also say, oh, but they need a transition period. Like, that's bullshit. They need to put their foot down and say, no, we're not going to go any further with this. There needs to be equality, and there's going to be equality now. There is nothing else that needs to transition. There is no further implementation that needs to be done. You simply let the children eat together. That's it.
Yeah, fucking transition for intolerance. This is again. I'm hoping that the feminists in the UK are losing their shit over this. Are they? Because this is they are. Okay, good.
Yes, people everywhere are losing their shit over this.
Good, because this is fucking stupid. Because if you want an example of misogyny, here it is. I mean, it comes in form of Islam. I mean,
right. and this isn't the only school that does it. There are schools all over that area that are still having problems with segregation, and even to the point not just eating together but also learning together, where they're being taught different qualities of education.
Yeah, I mean, the degree that religion, the freedom that it enjoys compared to anything else is fucking stupid. Like, if this was not Islam, it will not be tolerated. It would not be tolerated. This school would not be given a transition period if it wasn't an Islamic school.
Right.
Oh my god. This is the UK government being afraid of, like, oh, we're going to be racist, this is Islamic privilege in UK. This is your country being, again, I know some people exaggerate, oh, it's going to be fucking Sharia law in UK. I do understand that some people exaggerate, but this is real, okay? They do have Islamic privilege in the UK, and the fact that you have Islamic privilege in the UK, a country where Enlightenment values, one of the countries that is responsible for Enlightenment values that the rest of the modern world is now enjoying from, is now anti-free speech, apparently promoting sexism, is being tolerant of intolerance. Like, this is stupid, guys. If people in the UK, you guys need to like take your country back somehow, because we're losing you. We're losing you. The modern world is losing you, the UK. And I know there are some examples that some people give as an exaggeration, but there are samples like this that is not at all an exaggeration. You are tolerating sexism because you're afraid to stand against Islam. Fucking hell.
I agree.
Let me see what the top comment is. Top comment is by me, and say, that's why I'm convinced that all religions are BS. I mean, the whole idea of faith schools is fucking stupid. And is this public? Is this publicly funded, or is this a private school?
I don't know. I know that it is.
I'm gonna lose my shit if this is a public.
I don't know. I would have to say that it's probably private, just because it is an Islamic school.
Let me see. Oh, actually, no, it is government funded. Holy fuck!
How can a religious school be government funded?
I think you can get away with that in UK. Somebody, Nadi, you're from UK. Can you let us know? It's not like the US. I think you can be publicly funded and religious at the same time in the UK, which is so stupid. I mean, even if it's private, this should be illegal, because it is discrimination. But the fact that if it's public, then holy fuck, like, it's even worse. Oh my god. Okay, let's see the top comment after that. Somebody let us know if this is a public school or not. Lishi is saying, not surprising. I'm a rude girl who left the church at 8 years old. Wow, good job. And if someone tried this with me, I just start staring them dead in the eye and then leave. Oh, good. Sharon is saying they're preparing them for when they are married and start having sex. I mean, about the waiting until the men finish first. Oh, okay, that was a play on words. Carl is saying, not surprising at all, and honestly, not much different than any other religious schools. Okay, let's not say. Every religious school should be shut down. Okay, but let's not claim they're all equal. It's impossible for them to be all equal. How could all of them be equal?
Look at this case. You know, there are many religious schools out there who let the kids eat together regardless of their sex.
I mean, I'm against Christian schools. I'm against religious Jewish schools. I'm against any other religion-based schools. But I don't know if any other religion-based school says, like, boys get to eat first. I mean, prove me. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think for that you need an Islamic school.
It's a private school.
It is a private school? Okay.
Yes.
Still illegal, though. Still illegal because it's discrimination. You don't get away with being a private school and saying what kids get to eat first. That would be illegal. So should this. So should
Wait,
this.
It's a voluntary aided school.
Aided? So
yeah,
publicly funded.
School. Yeah, but voluntary aided. So does that mean that the public funds it by, like, voluntarily? Like, it's not part of the taxes? That's what it sounds like to me.
Huh. Does that mean that you pay taxes if you are part of that religion, maybe? I'm not sure. Somebody comment.
I don't know.
Yeah. All right, we don't know. Beach is saying, what does...
Muskow says, Armin, did you go to Muslim school? If so, did they do wacky things like this?
Well, I mean, I went to Iran. When I was in school, I was in Iran. Every school is an Islamic school.
But did the boys and girls eat separately?
There were no girls in our school. They have different schools.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yes, so there was some segregation.
Yeah, it's not even in the school. It's completely separate schools. You don't see girls in your class until you go to university. Which actually was part of the reason why children, and teenagers there are very... they actually, I think they might be having more sex than other countries because they're so horny because they've been separated for so long. Muska is saying churches aren't taxed in US. We know that. Did we say otherwise? We said tax exempt, I think we meant. Muska is saying, no, there was a comment by Beach. Oh, Beach here. What does Al-Hijra mean? And is it Salafi? I don't know if this is a Salafi school, but I think what they're referring to with Al-Hijra, maybe they're referring to the Muhammad's Hijra, migration from Mecca to Medina. Maybe, I'm not sure.
That's possible.
That's possible. Let me see if anybody... Okay, Yuval is saying Atheist Republic. UK feminists were very... Oh my god. Okay. Yuval is saying UK feminists were very silent for years about the grooming gangs. Muslims win victimhood Olympics in the UK all the time. There are some things that seem to be changing, Yuval, though. Like I noticed... Jim, why didn't we cover this on the news? There was another Muslim school-related news that we didn't cover that should have been covered. I think it's going to be too late now unless something new happens. Was about the schools in UK that were teaching about, the LGBT community to children and in Muslim schools. And the Muslim parents were losing their mind over that, and we should have covered that. I think what's happening is that a lot of the left that is not, again, it's not happening enough, but a lot of the left that were making excuses for Islam now there's going to be more and more clashes. I mean, we couldn't understand how could the left, which is pro-women rights, pro-LGBT rights, would ever be in favor of Islam, since Islam is a right-wing ideology that has always been against these values. But I think now more and more, where the left is going to be pushing for accepting LGBT, and pushing for women's rights. I think there's going to be more clashes with the Muslim community, and more people on the left are like, oh shit, these people are backwards. I mean, this is a backward ideology. So I think more people on the left are going to come to our side and stand against Islam. I'm hoping.
Yeah. I'm just hoping that there will be true equality one day, and that the men's restroom will have a nice little bench that we can sit on with some pictures, and it'll smell nice.
Okay. All right. Okay, Jim. Yuval was saying transition period means now you have oppression fluidity. I don't know what that means, but okay. All right. Anything that we need to read, or anything you wanted to add?
Not that I see, and I think I'm good.
Okay. All right. Oh, fuck. Let's go to the next news. Holy shit, this is fucking barbaric. Okay, go on.
Boy 7, buried alive by parents. I'm sorry. Boy 7, buried alive by parents for not knowing the Bible. Timothy and Tina Hausschultz, legal guardians of a 7-year-old boy, allegedly buried Ethan Hausschultz in a little coffin of snow because he failed to memorize 13 biblical verses. He was abused badly in the weeks up to his death, including being made to hold a 44-pound log for 2 hours daily for a week. Ethan died of hypothermia and blunt force trauma across his body in Wisconsin in April last year. The accused faced court in February 4th of this year, and tried to find some results from that court, from that trial, and I didn't find any.
Where was this?
This was in... I'm sorry, I had it written down here in my notes.
Is this okay? While you look into that, let's be. Is this? I mean, I don't know if this is actually supported by Christianity. Were these parents? I mean, so sad. How did the kid die? Did he die because he was buried alive? Oh yeah, he was buried alive. Shit.
Yeah,
so it was a very slow and painful death.
Yes, he was tortured for a long time, kicked, punched. They tried to drown him, rolled the log on him.
Okay. Okay, find out where this is.
It was in Wisconsin, in Manitowoc, Wisconsin, in the United States.
Okay, so, but when we cover some fucking barbaric things that is done by either Muslims and Christian, we always have to be careful to make sure if we're blaming it on the religion, if we should be blaming it on the religion or not. Because there doesn't seem to be any religious undertones here, or anything like that. I mean, there is some religious undertones, but there is nothing within Christianity that would endorse this. Is there? Like to brutally kill your child for not memorizing the Bible? There is nothing that I can. Can anybody, like, let's be fair to, I mean, these parents seem to be shitty, really fucking shitty parents without the help of religion.
The thing is, these are his legal guardians. They weren't even his parents. His mom was the one who found him, and found him, said that he had no heartbeat. He was frozen, and they tried to get him revived and weren't able to.
And what punishment they got? They got life in prison, I'm assuming?
I would hope so. That their trial was supposed to be on the 4th, but I tried to find some details on their sentencing, but I couldn't find any.
Somebody's pointing to Abraham, but I mean, Abraham was supposed to be sacrificed for, I mean, I guess you could say that. I don't know. What do you think? Like the fact that Abraham was going to kill his own son makes this. I don't know. It seemed like a stretch.
Yeah, it's definitely a stretch.
Okay, there might be some Matthew 18 verse 6 says, it might be the opposite of this. If anyone causes one of these little ones, those who believe in me, to stumble, it would be better for them to have a large millstone hung around their neck and to be drowned in the depths of the sea. So this is
what they mean.
Yeah,
what they mean by to stumble, though, that when they said that it doesn't mean in a physical reference to like stumble, but rather to sin.
Okay.
So when you start stumbling spiritually.
Okay, so this verse was offered as a way to show that not only this was not Christian, these parents were doing something anti-Christian, but this verse actually shows that Christianity is a fucking barbaric religion, even though it was not responsible for this act. Because as Jim pointed out, what this verse is saying is that if you cause children to not follow Jesus, to stumble on their way to believing in Jesus, then you should be fucking drowned in the sea for it. So just to remind,
it tells us in Leviticus that if anybody curses his mother or father,
right,
then he should be put to death.
Yes. So just what we're trying to say is that we're not making excuses for Christianity. We're saying that when we say Christianity was not responsible for this crime, does not mean that we're endorsing Christianity. And Christianity, as you can see, has fucking barbaric verses in there, and does endorse other killing and other form of punishment that are barbaric, but not this.
Where did they quote that from? From Matthew?
Matthew 18 verse 6, I think.
Okay, go three.
Well, no,
go 3 chapters and 2 verses before that to Matthew 15:4, and actually God commands, it says, honor your mother and father, and anybody who doesn't must die.
Right. Okay. So again, like, it's important when you guys see news like this or see examples like this, not to be like always like, Islam or Christianity. It's so important to be like, make sure that if you're actually going to blame religion for it, to actually find the connection, and even if you do find the connection, say it's very likely or very probable that it was because of religion. Don't ever be 100% sure about it. Jolene is saying it's comforting to see someone has already broken the mom's neck. Oh, it's just referring to the picture because the mom's, I guess, has a weird, I don't know. It's Jen is saying, mother, you're grounded. Religion of peace and love. Will is saying, okay, to be fair to Will, is that even if you can't point to Christianity for endorsing this crime, what I think is fair to point out is that Christianity doesn't seem to help people be more moral, or Islam, or any other religion. Like, that is a fair point to make. Mitch is saying, I cannot even think of a comment to express how absolutely livid stories like this make me. And again, but going back to what I've said is, I make that claim not based on anecdotal evidence like this. Like when I say religion doesn't seem to make people more moral, don't make that conclusion based on saying stories like this, because then maybe if you made a statistical analysis, then it actually, maybe religion does make actually more moral. I'm actually basing that off actual, research and data, and you can go look that up. Religion doesn't make people more moral. Stories like this might remind us of that, but stories of this shouldn't actually help make us come to that conclusion. Actual data should.
Yeah.
Don't use anecdotal evidence to come up with conclusions.
I've always wondered that all these children who were killed with the justification of that passage in Leviticus and in Deuteronomy and in Matthew and all throughout the Bible, that were killed for just disobeying or for speaking out against their parents. What was crazy is, according to the Bible, those kids went to hell and the parents went to heaven.
Shit. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, anybody that tells you Christianity, and you know, like at least Christianity endorses some good morals. I mean, fucking hell. Just read the fucking Bible before you make some claims like that. And if you still make a claim like that, read the Bible again. And again, people are like, but Islam is worse. Yes, Islam is worse. What kind of a standard is that? Like, to be better than Islam is not an accomplishment. You could still be one of the shittiest ideologies in the world and be better than Islam. It's not really hard to be better than Islam.
It's no kidding. That's like saying, here, eat this dog shit. And they're like, no. And they're like, oh, well, it's better than horse shit. You know, it's
is it? Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
No,
actually, it might be the other way around. I don't know.
Okay. All right, you're an expert in it. Okay. Anything, you are actually, all right?
I'm a shit expert.
Yeah. I mean, you're a horse expert, aren't you? Like, people don't know that.
I also have alpacas. I got alpacas yesterday. I got 5 of them.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Anything we need to read in the live chat? No. I'm not seeing anything here. Oh, I'm seeing. I don't know if this is. Oh, sorry, Yuval. I missed your comment about the last news. Okay. Let's go to the next news.
India witch hunters kill mother and 4 children.
What
the bodies
hell?
of Mangry. Yeah.
Like witch hunters, like that's their job? Like that's a work job title? Witch hunters?
Well, it's I don't know about their job title, but they definitely feel it.
Okay, give me the summary. Give me this.
Well, I was trying.
Okay.
The bodies of Mangry Munda and her children were found in a well near their home because of being accused as witches. A group of men broke into their home late at night when she and her 2 sons and 2 daughters were asleep. They attacked them with wooden sticks and an axe before dumping their bodies inside the well. The main accused, who has been arrested, claimed to be a witch doctor. 6 other people have been arrested in the eastern state of Orissa, but police believe more people were involved in the crime. Branding women as witches is particularly prevalent amongst tribal communities in the state.
Holy fuck!
It's awful.
So they killed the mother and the children?
Right, so this whole mob got together, snuck in their house at night, beat them, killed them with an axe and sticks, and then dumped their bodies in a well.
So they think the children were witches too?
I mean,
like, were the children, 4 children, were they all girls?
It's probably just guilty by association. No, that there were 2 boys and 2 girls. They were 1, 4, 7, and 12.
1? They killed a 1 and a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old and a 12.
Yes, I believe the 2 young ones were the boys and the 2 older ones were the girls.
You know what terrifies me the most is imagining one of these little kids watching like their 1-year-old sibling being killed with a fucking axe, and then knowing that they're next, watching their own mother die in the most painful fucking way, and knowing that they're coming for you next. I mean, I don't even know which is worse, being killed with an axe or watching somebody be killed with an axe, and you have to experience both of that. Holy fuck, man, these people. I mean, how common is this? This is in India. I know it's, I mean,
right. Well,
I know
there were 99 cases of it reported last year.
Last year, just 1 year, 99 cases?
Yes, that's in 1 year, and that's just what was reported.
Is this just local superstition, or is this a certain religion? Do you know?
It's a tribal superstition. It's in a lot of these local tribes. I mean, witchcraft, you see a lot, but it usually exists in these tribal communities.
This is fucking insane. Just a reminder that any kind of fucking superstition could end up causing so much shit. I mean, did these people actually think like they're serving the community? Maybe they're saving the community from some witches? Like, did they actually probably believe that, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Like, they actually, think about it. This is what fucking superstition does to you people. These people, something, I can't imagine any examples as horrific as what these people did right now, but these people actually thought that they're doing something good. Like, these people were can you imagine actually killing a 1-year-old child and actually thinking that you're making the world a better place by doing that? This is what fucked up superstition in any form, whether if it comes in form of religion or in any other form, it can do to your brain. That you are actually watching yourself chopping a little kid into pieces, and you actually in your head have convinced yourself that I'm a good person. I'm serving the community. Holy fuck, man.
Well, just since 2000, in 15 years, there have been 2,000 witchcraft murders.
What?
Not just the cases, but murders in India, in all of India. 2,000 murders.
Holy shit, man.
Connected to witchcraft.
And the problem, this problem is that one of the most vulnerable. I mean, witches are usually, it's usually women that get accused of being witches, right? Which are the one of the most vulnerable groups out there. Like, it's hard to defend yourself as a woman more than men, I guess. Monica is saying this is why we can't have nice things. Okay. Ash. Okay, so I think this guy is from India. Let me see if I'm right. I don't know, but it seems like it. I'm profiling you. Sorry. He's saying government has declared it as a crime and people are being punished for it. I don't think it's worse than a school shooting in any manner. Holy fuck, man. This is when your nationalism gets in the way of addressing. So, okay, so this guy, right? I think you're from India. What's your name? Akshan. What I think is happening here is that you saw this news about a mother and 4 kids being killed for witchcraft in your country, and the first thing that came to your mind was, oh shit, my country looks bad. Instead of like, oh no, the poor mom, oh no, the poor children, the first thing that came to your mind was, oh no, my country is looking bad. This is what nationalism does to your brain, okay? So we just saw what superstition does to your brain. Now we see what nationalism does to your brain. When you're worried about the image of your country more than children and a mother being killed, that's when nationalism has gone wrong. This is how nationalism ends up being like religion. Its influence, at least. Yes, people do school shootings in other countries. And that's what? Is that not being called out as a crime? Is that not being pointed out as horrific? What's your fucking point?
Get a Mormon.
Oh my god, these fucking idiots. I mean, just to be honest here, it's not like this guy doesn't represent his country. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people in India that are not only pointing this out as the horrific crime that it is, but are actually doing stuff to try to stop it. But you're not part of the solution, the guy that I can't pronounce your name properly. You're part of the problem. Alright, let's see if there's any better comments. Marvin is saying, what a world we are living in. Exactly. And again, I think Muscal is going to be upset with me for saying this. The world is a better place than it was before. It's always getting better. Examples like this shows that we still live in a shitty world, but I'm pretty sure we had more witch hunts and before than we have now. Right? That doesn't mean that that is good. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't be fighting this. The reason why we have less of this than before is because people actually did something about it. And people are like, oh well, we're just going to getting better. Yeah, but it's not a function of just time. It's a function of time and people actually doing shit about it. So don't just sit back and be like, well, the world is getting better. Well, yeah, because not thanks to people that just sat back. The world is getting better thanks to people that actually do something or say something. Jim, and let me actually see Yuval again. He has 2 comments here. Oh, Ovi is saying this is a painful story. Yes, it is. Yuval is saying witchcraft is believed in great parts of Africa. Yeah, I was actually going to point out this. Africa seems to have also a whole huge problem with hunting down people that have been accused of witches. And then Yuval continues saying in the 2000s you could, in the newspapers, you could see in the newspapers, I think he means, about people performing it and being legally charged for it. I don't know if you saying the witches were charged for it or the people that hunt down the witches. Editing my previous message. Witchcraft is believed in parts of Africa. People were... okay, so actually you were saying in parts of Africa, people were charged by the government legally for performing witchcraft. Holy fuck, that's fucking scary.
Wow.
And Yuval is saying you'd be surprised how many educated Africans believe in it. Yep, educated people are not immune from believing in bullshit, unfortunately. This is why critical thinking skills is something that should be added to every education system. Anything else you want to add, Jim, before we go to the next news? Oh, wait, Theomeki is adding something. Isn't witchcraft a death sentence in Saudi Arabia and Iran too? Yes, it is.
Yes. In fact, I think it's a death sentence in 14 states, well, national states.
Okay. Next news.
Next news. Teenage couple in Indonesia's Aceh province was whipped 17 times for cuddling in public.
Holy fuck.
And in Indonesia's Aceh province, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, a young couple was whipped after they were caught cuddling in public, a crime under the conservative region's Islamic law. Hundreds of spectators watched the flogging of the 18-year-old couple. A 35-year-old man was also whipped with a rattan cane for being intimate with a woman who was 40 years old in a local grocery store. All four had served several months in prison before the punishment. Banda Aceh Deputy Mayor Zainal Arifin said, "People outside of Aceh who think Islamic Sharia law is cruel can now see that it is actually very tolerant and humane."
What? What the hell?
Wow. Yeah, clearly it is humane and tolerant.
Wait, so but actually, what
makes you think it's not? I don't get that.
No, like, wait. This guy is saying like, "Hey, look how tolerant we are," while pointing out at whipping people, like people for
right. So basically, he's saying like, "Look, they're still alive. Like we didn't cut their heads off. Like so we're tolerant. We're so tolerant."
No, seriously, is that his point? That we only whip them and not kill them, and that's why Sharia law is tolerant?
Yes.
Like, does this guy have no?
Is that they have got a reduced sentence?
And he's actually saying that to the world, like pointing out
like
to whipping people. He's proud of saying, "Look how tolerant we are." Right. Holy fuck! You know, okay. A lot of people point this out when we cover Indonesia like this. This is only one province in Indonesia that is like this, right?
Well, there are other provinces in Indonesia who practice Sharia law.
Okay, but not all of Indonesia is like this.
No, not all of Indonesia.
And this is, I see this province's name more than other ones when this shit like this happens. And I see it, I don't know how to pronounce this. Is it Aceh or Aceh? Is it
I don't know if it's Aceh or Aceh.
Aceh. I'm going to go with Aceh. Does anybody somebody tell us in live chat.
I'm going to go with Peach.
Okay. But is this you know, we covered news about the same province before about some other shitty thing that you do to I think to a gay to somebody because for being a lesbian or something like that. Hundreds of spectators watched the flogging of the 18-year-old couple. This is entertainment to them. They go out and watch two teenagers get flogged because they hugged each other. They just hugged each other in public. Holy fuck! And this guy thinks, "Hey world, look at us, how tolerant we are." Are you fucking serious? Like, they have no self-awareness. They think like the world is gonna be like, what? Oh yeah, you guys like, you guys only whipped him 17 times. I thought you guys were intolerant. Now I changed my mind. This is what goes in this guy's head. Like, this is what he thought when he said that to the world. Like, look, we're not that I mean, I can't believe this. Like, the amount, not only they think this is okay, they're so out of touch with the rest of the fucking planet that he actually puts that out there to the world to see.
Theomek is giving us a pronunciation that it's Aceh.
Aceh.
So thank you.
Okay. Thank you
for that.
Theomeki and Muscal, sorry, Theomek, not Muscal, sorry, Muscal. Theomeki and Bij are very informed about everything. But Muscal, we love your comments as well. So, and they always, sorry, they always fill us in whenever we don't have the correct info. Thank you for that. But in the previous news we were covering about Indonesia, we saw some. We should have looked into this. We saw some pictures of some Gulf Arabs, sheikhs in, next to the mayor, right? That was enforcing some other fucked up shit. Oh yeah, I remember. It was the military finding all, like, collecting all the trans people, rounding them up, right, and trying to do exorcism on them. And do you think this is the influence of, because of some Saudi or some other Gulf Arab influence, like, there, or I don't know what it is, but Wahhabi influence over there, or is it just themselves?
I don't think so at all. I think this is just something cultural, something that's developed, and they've obviously seen some sort of benefit in that level of control.
It's religious.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. But what I'm saying is that, just like in history, politicians use religion to gain control.
Okay, and just to be, let's not let the rest of Indonesia off the hook. I understand that this shit will not happen in a lot of places in Indonesia, but the fact is that the federal government there is allowing different, Sharia being practiced as law in different places in their country. So even if it's not being enforced in the rest of the country, the fact that they allow this is fucked up already, right? Did we have recent elections in Indonesia? How does that affect any of this? We need to have, if you are in Indonesia and you're an atheist activist and you speak English, and if it's safe for you, I guess that's impossible. Those conditions cannot be met. But if that's possible, here, let me change that. If you're an atheist activist Indonesian that knows English but don't live in Indonesia, can you please come on our show and inform us about the relationship between religion and politics and all that shit in Indonesia? Because I think there are a lot of countries that are very much influenced by Islam, and a lot of atheists and minority groups are being wronged there, especially the gay community, LGBT community, and they don't get much coverage because it's not in the Middle East. Apparently Islam, when people want to cover the shit that Islam does, they mostly focus on the Middle East and the countries surrounding the Middle East. But some countries that go ignored is Somalia, Malaysia, Indonesia. We need some activists from there to inform us and to put us in touch with the activists on the ground there somehow, so that we could give them a louder voice. Let me see what the top comment is.
Chris S. in the live chat says that he lived in Malaysia he grew up in Malaysia and lived in China for 3 years. So, Chris, if you have some insight to that, or if you know somebody that you can put us in touch with on the ground over there, we'd very much like that.
Nelson is the top comments, is saying, what year is this? Nice camera for the 12th century. So it's like
2019.
Yeah, he's talking about the fact that how is this still allowed? Gaivan or something is saying, plot twist, the couples are into BDSM as well. Fuck.
Oh, really? Come
on. Michel is saying, hit me, baby, one more. Come on. This is what a fucked up world we have to live in. Okay, let's see if there's any. BJ saying, checked online. Atheist, longer sound, short. Okay, okay. I'm not gonna try. Aceh. Okay. Aceh, I think. It's like sneezing, I guess. Anyways.
Shit.
Okay. All right. No other comments. Is there anything you wanted to add, Jim?
No, that was it for me.
Okay. Next news.
Hindu temple in Kentucky vandalized with crosses and Christian hate speech. Swaminarayan Temple, a Hindu temple in Kentucky, was vandalized with painted crosses and Christian hate speech targeting Hindus. A knife had been stabbed into a chair and several doors were broken down. A 17-year-old white male is under arrest and was charged with first-degree criminal mischief and third-degree burglary. Hundreds of people from all religious backgrounds showed up to clean up the Hindu temple. Oh, that's a good ending. I really like that people were able to come together and help them out.
Okay, I don't understand. What do they think this is gonna do? I mean, if you're such an asshole that this is not gonna stop you from just being, just not being an asshole is not good enough to stop you from doing this. What do they think is gonna happen by, like, do they think, are they actually gonna defeat Hinduism by doing this? Like, I really don't understand. How is this gonna help? Like, how is this gonna help? The only way that this would help someone's fucked up agenda, which is probably not this case, is that if you're actually a Hindu that is trying to get some oppression points, right? Then this might be a very sneaky, very clever strategy. But apparently they caught the guy, so this was not the case, right?
Yeah, he obviously wasn't very sneaky.
He was not very smart. Like, I don't understand. So he wrote on the wall, there's a cross. And you also, Jesus is Almighty. What else is he written?
America.
Okay. America. But I mean, okay. And again, just to be fair here, there's nothing. I mean, we're not endorsing Christianity, and Christianity has a lot of fucked up shit in it that it does endorses a lot of crimes. But it doesn't endorse this, does it? I mean, it can't. There's no mention of Hinduism. What, does it? Actually,
we have a super chat from Vibrantly Brantley. He says, "Are we sure that wasn't Florida?" I don't know, Grant. That's a very good chance. It sounds something Florida would do for sure.
And thank you for the super chat. That's very generous. Thank you.
Thank you. If you want us to read your stuff on air without tagging us, super chat's the way to do it.
Or if you just want to help us out. But thank you so much. Yeah. But okay, I guess actually I'm not sure. Actually, maybe the Bible does endorse this. Doesn't it says that God? Isn't it one of the Yeah, it is one of the commandments. It is one of the first. Yes, first of all, you should not worship other gods, but
thou shalt have no other gods before me.
But does it endorse going after people that worship other gods? Yes, it does actually.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, wait.
All of Canaan was destroyed.
Okay. So you know how we want to make sure that we shit on Christianity for the right reasons and not for the wrong reasons. This Christianity does endorse this. Actually, Christianity endorse Christianity and Judaism. Right? Not only endorse vandalizing their temple, you're supposed to actually go kill these people, no?
Yeah,
I guess so.
Well, it's just the whole thing of nana nana boo boo. My God's better than yours, and it's just been like that throughout history.
I wish it was only that. It's my God is better than yours, and now you die.
Well, it's been varying levels of it.
Yeah. Okay. Who did Muska is saying who did this? It was a Christian guy. I don't know why they say we captured a white man. I mean, who the fuck cares if he was white? It was a fucking insane Christian guy.
He was a Christian in Kentucky. Of course he was white.
Yeah, but why is that relevant? Why does that, like, if it was a black guy, would that mention that in the news, like in the title, like in the?
I mean, it's not like it matters. I mean, it really doesn't matter.
You shouldn't mention people's race if it's not relevant to the fucking story. Who's? Okay, wait, sorry.
Maybe they put it in there because if they didn't say that it was a white guy, people would automatically assume that it was a black person.
No, I think you should.
I mean,
You shouldn't bring up people's race if it's not relevant to the story. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree.
Yeah. Muska is saying, why do we let Christians in the U.S. get away with this shit? We didn't. This guy was arrested, Muska. What are you talking about? So Muska is saying, why do we let Christians get away with this? But this guy was arrested, wasn't he?
Oh yes, he was.
Yeah. Okay. No, Muska, we don't let. They don't let them get away with it. You need to put before comments. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Muska, for saying that to people. Okay. Let me see. Yuval here. Old Testament. Okay. Oh, Yuval is our Israel is expert from Israel, and I think he knows the Old Testament more than the rest of us. I actually don't know. Jim is a Bible expert, so Jim knows as well. You were saying Old Testament endorses ruining pagan altars. Yes.
Yes.
So Old Testament. So this is something that you could blame both Christianity and Judaism for.
Yeah, and in Second Kings, they talk about burning strange incenses, meaning strange sacrifices, and that they prophesy about altars being broken, ashes spilling out, and so on and so forth.
Right, and Yuval is saying prophet. How do you pronounce this prophet? Elijah. Elijah. Yeah. Okay. Prophet Elijah slaughtered Baal priests.
Yeah, Baal is the in Exodus after coming out of Egypt, Moses went up on the mountain to receive the commandments. When he came down, he found his people worshiping the golden calf. The golden calf is what was representative of Baal.
Yeah, actually, if you follow those stories, worshiping cows is exactly what Moses lost his shit over, and he got people to kill a whole bunch of people. Moses comes out with the commandments, right? One of the commandments being "Thou shalt not kill," and the first thing Moses this is the part of the Bible that is the most ironic, I think, of all, because the first thing Moses does after coming down with the commandment, which includes "Thou shalt not kill," was the order of murdering the people that were worshiping the golden cow, and a lot of people could see Hindus as cow worshippers, so I guess you could put two and two together and be like, okay, I guess these are the modern day cow worshippers that Moses told us to kill.
Cow worship goes all the way back into Babylonian and Ethiopian, and even before these Ugaritic texts that we have for the Canaanite religions.
Right. Yeah, okay, let's see. The first comment is saying, my imaginary friend is better than yours. Nicholas saying, my God can beat up your God. Well, apparently it can't, because you had to go do his job. Lucy saying, is this just a religious version of my dick is bigger than yours? Unarth something is saying, people fighting for their imaginary friends needs to stop. Yeah, well, good luck with that. Patrick saying, I may be atheist, but I think we can all agree this is fucked up. Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I hope we can agree on that. They should have invited some atheists to come help out as well. Like, they always like, oh, let's, with the cleanup, they had like interfaith, all people of faith, they had probably some Christians and some Muslims and joined up to clean up, right? To clean up. But the thing I don't like about interfaith getting together is about basically the message I get from interfaith groups is that let's all agree that we're all equal and we're all deserving of love and compassion, as long as we have some sort of faith. As long as we believe in some God, we're all in this together. So it's kind of like them all getting together and be like, yeah, fuck those atheists, right?
Well, see, I haven't really got that message, but at the same time, I haven't really been around these interfaith communities, so I don't know how inclusive they are of atheist organizations. But I would be interested in seeing some existing atheist organizations, like Atheists Helping the Homeless or something like that, actually reaching out to some of these interfaith communities and trying to get involved.
Yeah, so maybe in inner faith and outer faith, there should be inner and outer faith communities instead of just
Right.
interfaith. I don't know.
What about just interhumanity groups? You know, what's wrong with that? Why does faith have to be brought into doing something good if they can already agree that your faith has nothing to do with your morality?
Because they think as long as you have some faith, you're good. That's what their understanding is.
Well, I have faith that I'm good, so fuck you.
Okay, let's see. Muska is saying a lot of atheists seem to be nicer and Christians snobby and hateful. Did the devil made him do this? I don't think so, Muska. I'm not sure if you're right. I think atheists are not nicer than Christians. I think we're as nice and as evil as Christians and Muslims. I don't think we're nicer. I think that the reason why you might get that impression is because if you follow atheist pages and atheist Twitter accounts and atheist YouTube, they will give you more examples of, you know, religions. You know, I'm not criticizing them. That's their job. This is an atheist page, an atheist YouTube channel, an atheist Twitter account. They're supposed to bring attention to shit done by religion. But, you know, be sure to, you know, instead of looking at stories to come up with that conclusion, just look at data. It's important to just look at data. Follow stories, it's important, but also look at data. And I think that data shows that we are as good as and as bad as religious people. The problem with religion is that bad people use it as a way to excuse or to protect or to legalize the fucked up shit that they want to do. So I'm not saying religion has no influence. Religion does provide protection for a lot of crimes and a lot of evil. But I think inherently most religious people are as kind, better than their religion. Most religious people are better than the religions that they believe in. That's what I think. I might be wrong, so let me know.
No, I would agree with you there.
Okay, good. Not good.
Well, and you can see it. It's obvious in just the sheer desire for religious followers to reform their own religion. Just the fact that people are reforming their own religion shows that they recognize the problems.
Right. I'm not gonna click on that link because it's gonna mess up everything. So, but thank you for providing that for anybody else that wants to click on it. Should we go to the next news? Hold on.
Yes, last news. Iran publicly hangs man on charges of homosexuality. An unidentified man was executed after he was found guilty of raping two 15-year-old males as well as kidnapping charges. He was hanged in the southwestern city of Kasserun on January 10th. Iran charged the man with laws covering homosexuality, not pedophilia. Human rights advocates have suggested that with this instance, the government may have executed him before questions could be asked about the case. Mary Jafari, Iranian human rights lawyer, said, "The gay community needs to react and clarify this is not a gay case. In Iran, it's so important to clarify this because there's so much prejudgment. The danger is very real." So this man was killed not for his not for his actions of having sex with 15-year-olds, but for having sex with another male.
Yeah, we posted this in a couple of places on Atheist Republic, and a lot of people were like, "Why are you supporting this guy? This guy raped a kid." And we're like, yeah, no, the issue is that he got executed for homosexuality. That was that was what he was charged for. Like, if that's not a red flag for you, I don't know what else is. So the government was like, basically, this guy got arrested and he raped a 15-year-old, and the government the issue was not that he was raping a minor. The issue apparently to the government was that the minor that he raped was the same sex as him, and that was why he eventually got hanged. So
right, but there's also something to be said, where the human rights lawyer here said that that maybe they didn't have all of the information before they executed him. So I mean, there's no telling what's true about this story and what isn't. I mean, on the surface, yes, it does look like something very horrific, and it does seem like he was executed for not necessarily for the wrong reason. But I would be interested to see what comes out of this, or what could have come out of this.
I mean, it's from Iran, so we might whatever happened might be completely wrong, right? So he might like, we don't know if he actually did what they say he did, because I mean, it's from Iran.
Right.
So
yeah, it could just been a justification.
Yeah, we don't know, but yeah, I mean, I mean, Jim, me and you, we're against capital punishment in general, anyways. Like, whatever the fuck he did, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, I mean, the fact that he's executed for anything is already a problem. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with us with this. Like, oh no, if you raped a 15-year-old, you should be executed. I mean, that's a whole nother debate. I don't think executions. I mean, I'm not in favor of capital punishment for anything. But by the way, we got a super chat from Godless. Oh, did you see that?
No, I did not.
Can you?
Let me pull it back up. I'm so sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we have from Godless Iowan. Hi, Godless Iowan. Keep up the good work. Jim is funny as fuck.
Yes.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it so much. Thanks for watching the stream.
We disagree on that, by the way, but but go check out Godless Iowan. Go check out their YouTube channel. They do. I mean, they need to be more well known because they have so many good shows, and especially the one that I was on. So go check that out.
And he also had a car wreck recently, and he has a fundraiser for funds to help that out. So if you're able to help him out, please do so.
So they donated to us, even though they having financial issues. No.
Right.
Oh, don't do that. But thank you. Thank you. That's very sweet of you. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, so let me see if anybody is going to point out in the top comments that why you guys are supporting this guy. He raped a minor. And also, just to tell you, 15-year-old boy, right? So in Iran, that's not considered a minor, I think. But it was rape. Neri is saying religion of peace. Yeah, right. There is no such thing as religion and peace in the same sentence. I mean, I'm so tired. No, I agree, but that's such a repetitive comment. I'm tired of that. Yes, Islam is not a religion of peace.
It doesn't have meaning anymore, because if you were to ask anybody who says it, just immediately ask them, what do you mean by that? It will take them a minute to actually come up with some sort of explanation, because that it has lost all meaning because people have used it so tirelessly.
No, I mean, but I agree though that there's no religion of peace. Philip is saying, oh, see, this is what I was waiting for somebody to point out that we are wrong to post this. He's saying the unidentified man, 31 years old, was executed after he was found guilty of raping 2 men, as well as kidnapping charges. Well, the person was hanged because he kidnapped and raped 2 males, not just for being gay. No, that's not. Yeah, but that's not what we're saying. The charges was. So Philip is saying, like, trying to point out that we're wrong, but I think the issue that we have is that that's not what he was charged for, right?
Right. That's not why he was executed.
That's not why he was executed. I mean, the reports say that at least 3,000 people in Iran have been hanged so far that we know of,
right,
for being gay.
What they're saying is they didn't have enough information yet to try him or to charge him with the kidnapping and the rape, but that they did have enough to charge him with the homosexuality.
Right. So they were like, why wait? We don't have to wait. Like, he's already committed gay acts, so why do we have to wait for?
That's good enough.
That's good enough. We don't need to wait for evidence that the rape allegations are actually correct, because we have enough evidence that he's done gay sex. So we'll hang you. But in Iran, again, I mentioned it seems like reports show that so far 3,000 people have been hanged for doing something gay. I don't know, either gay sex or something else. Because Iran does try to remind you that if you're just gay, you're not going to get killed. Like, if you don't act on it. Well, congratulations, you fucking idiots. It's still a human rights violation for killing people. I mean, I don't have to say this. It's so obvious. But they think like they deserve brownie points for not killing people just for being gay. But they only kill people if they actually do something, commit gay sex or something like that, as if it's a crime. No, you don't get any cookies for that. But the 3,000 that's been reported it's only the ones that we know of, because a lot of these crimes, they hang people, and what you see on paper is spreading corruption on Earth, and you have no idea what the fuck. Yeah, you have no idea what the fuck they're referring to. So there could be a lot more. Right.
Well, and you have to remember, in a lot of these small tribal communities, especially these Bedouin communities, you know, or these people who practice, you know, Sharia law, and there's nobody to contest it. A lot of this stuff goes unreported because the only reason that we know about most of these stories is because somebody has spoken out against it. But in communities where everybody's okay with this stuff just goes on without anybody saying anything.
No, yeah, but in Iran they do keep, I think, a record of their executions. It's just that
that's government though. But
I'm
talking like in these small tribal communities, like in these nomadic communities.
Right. Yeah, but again, so if you're thinking about Iran though, the problem is that they don't report sometimes what it was exact, and there are sometimes that. There are false allegations. Like if there is somebody that they just want to get rid of for political reasons, there are examples of people just being accused of drug crimes and stuff like that. I mean, Iran has
or like family members trying to get another family member's property or something like that. They'll accuse them of something like that.
I think if let me know if I'm remembering this correctly. Iran does have the highest number of executions per year after China. Was that per capita or was that total? I think it's total. It's the highest in the world per capita. Iran takes, but it's the second total. Might be wrong about this, but it does take the second for something when it comes to execution, and that might drop significantly soon. Because most of the executions were for drug-related crimes, and they did recently change that so for drug-related crimes not to get executions anymore. So that number might drop significantly in the future, hopefully. I might be wrong about that. Let's see. Let's not be too optimistic since we're talking about Iran.
I'm not knowledgeable as far as that goes.
Yeah, well, correct us in the comments if we're wrong about any of this. Yep. So Nick, again, a lot of people are pointing out, so kidnapping and rape has nothing to do with it. Like, no, apparently it didn't. Yes, he might have done that, but that's not why he got hanged. Anyways, I think that was the last thing we cover. Jim, anything you want to add? No?
Oh, that's it.
Yep. So again, remind everybody that now instead of just Patreon, we also have a Subscribe-Star account, which you can find the link to. Just either search for Subscribe-Star Atheist Republic, or there's a link to it on our homepage on atheistrepublic.com.
And you can pay with your digital monies, your Bitcoin, anything like that.
Yeah, a lot of people have been asking us for having a Bitcoin option because they want to support us from countries where it's not very safe to support us because they don't want there to be any digital record of them supporting us. So now on Subscribe-Star, we have Bitcoin option for supporting us. Well, thank you, Subscribe-Star.
And if for some reason the button doesn't take you straight to our page, you can go just to Subscribe-Star and search Atheist Republic, and it'll pop right up.
Yeah, but also thank you to people on Patreon as well, and also on PayPal as well. And let's see who's in the live chat. Beej, Smithy. Oh, hi, Mrs. Snarky is there. Christy, as always, love having you here in the live chat. Mars, hi Mars. Chris, oh hi Jim. Jim is in there as well. Who else did we miss? You will. Your comments always help us. Yuval was saying executions per capita. Please tell me pun was unintended. It was unintended. Tim, Tamara in the Facebook live chat. Robert, Lester, Avi. Avi is new here in the Facebook live chat. It was great having you. Who else? Sweet Heathen, Vibrantly, and everybody. Oh, Renzo is here. I didn't see him. Renzo is here. Great having you. And everyone else. Sorry if I missed your name. It wasn't on purpose.
And Debs.
V7. Debs, yeah. Love you all. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for correcting us when we were wrong or disagreeing with anything we said, like Michel. And thank you for being with us, and see you guys again next week. Bye, guys. What?
And I have a debate coming up in 1 hour on Modern Day Debate for anybody who wants to check that out.
Check that out. Modern Day. Where can they find out? Just search
Modern Day Debate on YouTube.
Modern Day Debate on YouTube. Go look that up. 1 hour from now, there's a debate coming up. Good luck on that.
Thanks, man.
All right. Bye.
Bye.